Monday, a 107-year-old tall ship from Norway, dubbed the Rad Lem Kul, arrived at the Tanjung Priok Port in Jakarta as part of the One Ocean Expedition, a voyage to create attention and share knowledge about the ocean's crucial role for a sustainable future. On the decks of the ship, Metro Globe's Sarah Wayne spoke with Norway's ambassador to Indonesia to find out more about clean energy initiatives and much more.
Rad Lem Kul has arrived in Jakarta and it will dock in Tanjung Priok Harbor for 3 days before continuing its One Ocean Expedition journey. And to know more about the research and also on the sustainability of the world's ocean, I will be speaking to the ambassador of Norway to Indonesia, Her Excellency. Hello, Your Excellency. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful ship, Rad Lem Kul.
Likewise, thank you for having us. And Your Excellency, can you please tell us regarding, how Indonesia and also Norway can cooperate, especially to ensure the sustainability of our ocean and also our environment?
Well, I think Norway and Indonesia, we have a lot of things in common, even though we are countries very far apart. And Indonesia is a very big country, Norway is a very small country. But I think one of the things that really unites our two countries is the ocean, because there's only really one ocean. And Indonesia, with more than 17,000 islands, it's one of the biggest, well, it is the biggest island state in the world, has an amazing marine biodiversity, looks after the ocean, but also has challenges, especially with climate change, which is also affecting Norway. So the ocean is really one of the key areas where Norway and Indonesia are working together today.
And regarding the renewable energy, as we can see here, the ship has used the wind as its energy, also solar powered. But going forward, how do you see this to be applied in countries such as here in Indonesia from your point of view?
Well, I think the transition from fossil fuels to renewable energy is a common challenge. It is a challenge for Norway because we have been a big oil and gas exporter for many, many years. Indonesia still relies on coal for its energy production. So I think the challenges are big here, but they're also big in our own country. I think the Indonesian government is making great leaps forward in this area because it is a challenge. And I think now we are soon having, the summit in Bali under the G20 presidency. I know, and the energy transition is high on the agenda for this government. We just want to support Indonesia in whichever way we can, and being very well aware also of the great challenges that you are facing.
Speaking of support, what kind of support do you have in mind that can be established between Indonesia and also Norway?
Well, Norway and Indonesia are working very closely together in a number of areas. I think the most recent development is that we signed an MOU and a contribution agreement for helping Indonesia reduce emissions from deforestation. $56 million was just being dispersed, which we're very, very happy to embark upon this new partnership, an equal partnership with Indonesia on climate change and forestry. But we're also working very closely together in a number of ocean-related areas. We support the government's efforts to rehabilitate and protect mangroves with $50 million, which is a substantial contribution for a small country like Norway. We work together to reduce marine waste, so plastic waste in the ocean that we can unfortunately also see here in Tanjung Priok. So there are a number of areas. We also have Norwegian companies providing cutting-edge technology for maritime surveillance. And of course, we are very excited to have Indonesia as one of the biggest markets for Norwegian seafood, and in particularly Atlantic salmon.
And Your Excellency, since we are speaking about the environment, we'd like to also ask your views regarding the environment here in Indonesia, particularly in Jakarta, because you are living here as we are speaking right now. What is your views on the condition? Because many researchers say that is also noted on the website of the One Ocean Expedition that Jakarta is sinking every year. What are your views and how can we tackle this challenge?
Well, first of all, from my perspective, my personal perspective, I am very happy to live in Jakarta. So, and every day I must say I actually think more about the great things about Jakarta than the negative things, because it's after all a quite green city. And I'm also very impressed by the public transport in this city. I prefer to take the MRT and not sit in Macet, going up Sudirman. So that's just one example. I think and living in Indonesia is just such a privilege. I'm well aware of the challenges. I think the government is working very hard to address those challenges. In September, I had the chance to visit IKN, Titik Nol. So I know we are very supportive also of the government's plan to do the capital, and very impressed also with the vision of the president himself and the government to make this a green capital. So that's just one example. But again, I'm very, very happy to be living here. Yeah.
And Your Excellency, probably can you please tell us what is the key to enhance sustainable cooperation between our two countries, especially as you mentioned before in terms of renewable energy push and also environment-wise?
Well, I think the main, for me as ambassador of Norway to Indonesia, I think the key is to respect each other's challenges and to work together in an equitable partnership as equals to try and address the challenges ahead. This has been Norway's approach in Indonesia for several years, and it is the foundation also of our new partnership on climate and forestry. It is the foundation for things we're doing together on renewable energy and on the ocean. So we recognize Indonesia as a world-leading country, as a country which is very big and which has a lot of challenges also because of its size. But for Norway, we really want to support the efforts of the government, and I'm sure that we can make great progress together.
Preserving the world's environment and also our ocean needs a collective effort. And of course, even though all countries have their own differences, we agree on one thing, that the ocean unites us. And of course, through the data research that is collected from Rad Lem Kul, it is hoped that it can help benefit for the future generation and also this generation to